Hi there, just read this disclaimer please. Alright guys, how's it going? So it's the end of May, isn't it? So time for the monthly update. So first of all, portfolio Google Sheet. Okay, so here's a little look at the portfolio based on the current prices. Not a lot to say really, not much has changed that since the end of April. My UK international split is getting pretty close to my target of 50-50. My Growthian dividend is still, what, 7% off. Not much more to say really there. And so changes made to the portfolio, it's really just that one. If you look at the previous video I made, my ad hoc momentum strategy switched from Polar Capital Biotechnology into a gold fund, BlackRock Gold Fund, and obviously it's split over my LISA and my general Hargreaves Lansdown account. So there's 2 transactions for the sale, 2 transactions for the buy. That's the only change that was made in the month. Okay, so dividends paid in the month, as you can see there on my unitisation, that's kind of how much I officially paid myself. So £1.34 of interest on the cash, which has come out there. The Hargreaves Lansdown account didn't have any cash paid out of it because there just happened to have not been any dividends that month. The iWeb ISA had £461.53 paid out of it, or officially paid out of it, but actually the money stays there, as I've said before. And so that means that my cash that's noted as cash being in my ISA that's officially been paid out has gone up to 2,466 now. And that's why here I have the 2. That's the previous amount that had been paid out, and that's the new dividend that had been paid. And then my iWeb ISA, my iWeb non-ISA had £1,030.84 paid out, and that actually was paid out to my bank account because that doesn't have any tax implications. Sending cash out of that account doesn't, unlike the ISA. So that's how much I kind of officially got paid by the portfolio. And then if we look at what I actually got paid within the portfolio, do the usual thing, go down to the bottom here, and we can see that I got RBS was cancelled, so that was not paid at all. Finsbury Growth and Income paid me 253. Murray International paid me 420. Henderson Far East Income paid me 218. City of London 353 quid. Merchants 247 quid. So it was quite a big month, and as you can see there, they were all paid on time. Now there's actually the 29th, so Friday, should have actually had Henderson International paid as well, but it's running late, that one is. So that's just going to roll forward into the June's kind of collection of dividends and paying out of them, which is kind of helpful because June is a lean month of only roughly 740. Well, it would have been roughly 493. So that's going to boost it a bit to be 746, and May was quite a high month at 1,492. So it would have had an extra 253 if that was paid on time. Any dividend announcements for the month? So what have we got here? Oh yeah, Scottish Mortgage announced this dividend of £1.86p, slightly up on the year before. So the growth in their dividend is 3.483% compared to last year. But obviously they're kind of a weird one, Scottish Mortgage, because they decided long ago that they were just going to pay this dividend out of capital anyway, because they don't really invest in dividend paying companies, so they've always paid it out of capital. So I mean, I guess the only way that they'd stop keeping the dividend flat or raising it is if the capital did really badly. But I mean, even if it did badly, the dividend yield is so low that what's the harm in just keeping the dividend anyway? To be honest, I wouldn't mind if they just didn't pay a dividend at all. I just pretty much see this as growth. How much does it pay me? Very small amount, I think. Oh, not bad, 118 quid. But considering my holding is 26 grand, it's very low. Well, that number tells you everything. 0.45% yield. So, yep, Scottish Mortgage dividend, and then BlackRock Frontiers has had another dividend cut. I just thought I'd look up. It's got here 1.04 years of cover on the AIC's website. So, I don't know, maybe they've just got really bad expectations for their revenues going forward, because this is where it was announced in the half-year report. This is just on Investigate. The company's revenue return per share amounted to 1.77 US cents compared to 3.19 US cents the year before. So that is a massive drop, isn't it? The board recognises that shareholder values of dividends, but is also cognizant that there has been a reduction in dividends received from the companies in the portfolio due to the COVID outbreak. Nonetheless, the board is pleased to declare. They phrase dividend cuts with the words like pleased to declare, and I don't know, just marketing BS as far as I'm concerned. Just give us the facts. Don't tell us that we should be pleased that they're doing something. Let us judge that without you putting words in that kind of suggest things to us. So they've declared a 2.75p compared to 3 US cents. Sorry, I said p, I meant cents. The year before, payable on the 26th of June to shareholders. The final dividend of 4.76 US cents per share for the year ending 2019 was declared and paid to shareholders. Whether the company will pay a similar final dividend to last year's will depend on the state of the revenue account in the second half of the year, so that they reckon they'll have greater visibility on it then. So yeah, they're not promising anything, are they? So I guess with all of these things, it's just a matter of how much are these dividends going to bounce back once the outbreak is over. So, I don't know, could be a lot, could be quite a bit of capital selling or part-time job, temporary job getting in my future. Who knows? Okay, so that's the only other announcement, like dividend-wise. I've collated all the data as usual, and I haven't beat the market this time. The Life Strategy 100 was up by 5.96%. My portfolio was up 3.41%. As usual, I've just worked it out here using my accumulation unit from the 30th of April to the 31st of May. It's up 3.41%. And all of the life strategies would have beaten me, and even the UK All Share would have beaten me, which is a pain, isn't it? And here's the usual method of estimating my costs. We're about 157 compared to 53 for the life strategies, 0.22%. There's some of the details on the costs. Yep, so not good. Let's hope for a bounce back, and you can see the numbers for yourself there. Let's see, anything to note? I mean, probably the same old story yet. Scottish Mortgage, Fundsmith. Henderson International's had a relatively good one, so's Finsbury. Yeah, just the same old story really. Ad Hoc is a bit weird because I had the biotechnology fund from the 30th of April to the 7th of May, so I've had to work it out, that return on the biotech, and then gold has returned me 1.83% since I bought it on the 12th. Put those two numbers together and it gets 5.97%. And this O'Day Swan long short is just absolute disaster. Actually, that's a different fund. It's these 2 months that are the O'Day Swan long short. And yeah, well, I don't know. And of course the biotech, which is the Baillie Gifford long-term growth, which is very similar to Scottish Mortgage, of course, does a similar return as it did the prior month. HFL's done pretty badly, so's the 250 tracker. Yeah. Glaxo's done a bit bad, hasn't it? Wonder what happened then. Anyway, there's all the numbers for anyone that's interested to look at. And the only other thing that happened in the month was that my LISA, if you remember, early April I paid £4,000 into the LISA, so I was due a 1,000 bonus from the government, which I then received on the 27th of May. As you can see here, I've got a couple of grand. I've got the gold fund in the normal Hargreaves Lansdowne account, and a couple of grand, I think, in the LISA. Ordinarily, I would straight away, I would sell some of the gold fund that's in the Hargreaves Lansdowne account and then buy the same amount in the LISA. The problem is the fund that I can do that with is that fund that has a bid offer spread. So that number's different to that number. So that would actually waste me about 0.8% or something if I did that straight away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that £1,000 in the LISA until I want to sell this anyway. So I'll do the switcheroo of the cash and then sending the £1,000 to my bank account. I'll do that whenever I decide to switch my ad hoc momentum strategy fund, whenever that might be in the future. Alright, I think that's all of my normal update stuff, isn't it? So I'll leave it at that. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.